Stop buying the new Madden every year. The video game Madden has been the #1 selling NFL video game for over 25 years. I used to be a huge Madden fan. My brother and I would beg my mom to drive us to the mall at midnight to pick up the newest installment of the game every year. Back when midnight releases were a thing. Looking back on it now, it was a little weird, but kind of wild that a video game had that type of influence in the first place. God, I remember in high school, we would stay up till 4 in the morning playing Madden with custom rosters, fantasy drafts, minicamp games. It had everything we needed. In college, this is how you would meet people in your dorm. You'd fire up a dorm-wide Madden tournament and ignore girls and play with fake football players, and in turn, girls would ignore you and talk to the real football players. And Bodmer, I already know you're going to be in the comments. I no longer have access to the master Excel spreadsheet with everybody's head-to-head records. Please stop asking. But what I'm saying is, in the 2000s, the Madden video game franchise had been a best-selling cultural phenomenon and a staple in every sports fan's video game library. But things have changed for the Madden franchise since then. After Madden 2005, Electronic Arts and the NFL signed an exclusive licensing agreement that made Madden the only football video game that could use the names of NFL teams and players, which immediately killed the competition of other football video games, including NFL 2K and 989 Sports NFL Game Day. Since then, the Madden video game has deteriorated to such a level that channels here on YouTube have been able to make a living releasing the same "This New Madden Sucks" video year after year. The irony is not lost on me. And these video game reviewers aren't wrong. Madden has stagnated to a point that hardcore Madden fans, like myself, have completely abandoned the franchise altogether. Which is sad because with their exclusivity deal, it's them or nothing.
I'm good, thank you. What? I'm good, thank you.
And now the only people who push the new Madden game every year are people who have something to gain from the game. Streamers who play the game, and EA-sponsored gamers who get paid to play the game and say nice things about it. But with the lack of competition in the football video game space, there is no incentive to make a better game year after year. Every year, thousands of people take to internet forums to make a wish list of sorts to ask EA for new features. And more often, old features that had been in the game, but have since been removed. And every year, these requests fall on deaf ears. Instead, every August, after the newest installment of the game is released, we are inundated with hours of social media clips of these bugs and glitches of an unpolished game that then need additional patch fixes. Instead of actually improving the game, EA rolls out unwanted features that sole purpose is to funnel people to the section of the game where they can spend real money for more in-game perks, for a game that they've already spent a minimum of $70 for. They have stripped the single-player features of all of its depth and playability, instead catering to the world of microtransactions in other multiplayer modes. Microtransactions are a tricky subject, and I'm not the most well-versed in the video game space anymore to be an authority on that. So I've reached out to fellow YouTuber Paprika Gaming to help explain the video game cancer that is microtransactions. Take it away, Paprika.
Okay, so back in the good old days of gaming, companies had two main sources of revenue: game sales and DLC, downloadable content. But this is very unreliable. It's a one-time sale, and big game companies want recurring sources of revenue. It's just more reliable. And so in 2006, the geniuses over at Bethesda Games came up with a brilliant idea. Do you see this horse? Notice anything special about it? No? Well, it has gold armor. $2.50 gold armor. It provided nothing necessary to actually play the game, but players bought that shit up. And this is a huge deal because developers realized they could now add multiple points of profit littered throughout the game experience. Things like guns, skins, player cards, that create recurring points of revenue. That way, their stock price goes up and your bank account goes down.
Thanks, Paprika. If you at all like my sense of humor, there's a very good chance you will like his sense of humor. His writing and wit are some of the most underrated on this site. So when you're done with this video, subscribe to this channel, and then go to the link in the description that'll send you to his channel. You won't regret it. At this point, most other sports video games use microtransactions. It's an unfortunate part of video games that has sadly become the norm. But other sports video games aren't as blatant as Madden's, whose tactics have become straight up shameless.
Play Pro Edition. What the fuck? I already bought the game! And now the first thing that you see when you press start is, you got the game? Well, you didn't get the game. You need to get the game.
All sports video games use the digital trading card model that latches onto the real life hobby. And it opens up more opportunities for sponsorships with actual trading card companies like Topps. And as an added bonus, your card collection restarts every year with the new game. So what's the point? But for example, in NBA 2K and MLB The Show, if you want to spend hours creating your own logos, uniforms, and stadiums, you can. And those modes are very detailed with a crazy amount of depth and possibilities. Do you want to bring back former MLB team, the Montreal Expos? You can. Do you want to make a fake NBA team called the Virginia Beach Cardinals? You can. You can even upload your own advertising for your stadium. I partnered with Brazzers, and I hope no narcs report me for that. But the amount of creativity you can use is limitless. Madden is a very shallow game in that aspect, because the NFL has a very tight grip on its brand, and they focus most of their energy in more ways they can monetize the game. Why would they want you to spend hours on features like these when you could be ripping open fake packs of digital trading cards for real money in Madden Ultimate Team, just to get killed by some 10-year-old who used mommy and daddy's credit card to buy the best team, then exploited the same 2 plays and other glitches in an online game? There used to be so many in-depth features in Madden. Owner mode, where you could set the prices of tickets, parking, and concessions, create a playbook. But now those part of the games have become noticeably absent or a shell of their former self, despite yearly calls to bring them back to their former glory. But instead we get this dog shit, and an AI with worse clock management than Andy Reid. Madden needs a boycott. There have been attempts to try and boycott Madden in the past, and they have had little or no impact. Madden has a complete monopoly on this corner of the video game market, and as long as they have the exclusivity rights, they have zero incentive to make a better game. As Bo Burnham says,
"We know it's not right, we know it's not funny, but we'll stop beating this dead horse when it stops spitting out money. But until then, we will repeat stuff."
and I don't see EA changing their attitude unless they were to lose like an unfathomable amount of money because no one bought this year's game. So what makes a good boycott? Well, actually, one of the most effective boycotts ever happened in April 2023, when Bud Light did a partnership with influencer Dylan Mulvaney. It's estimated that Bud Light lost over $1 billion in sales that summer because of the partnership. And in my opinion, the brand hasn't fully recovered nearly a year and a half later. And this is what EA needs: a huge hit to their wallet. Now, I need to be clear because this is the internet and everything is taken in clippable moments. I have no problem with Dylan Mulvaney. I don't care how Dylan lives his life. Yeah. But what I do know is that whatever brands associate themselves with Dylan dies. And that's exactly what needs to happen to Madden. It needs to die so that it can rise from the ashes and turn into something that's worth buying and playing. If there was just some way to connect Dylan Mulvaney to the Madden franchise. Actually, I have an idea. Do you remember in 2008 when Brett Favre retired for the first time? And Madden wanted to honor him by making him the cover athlete for that year's game, Madden 09. This would be the first time ever Madden put a retired player on the cover. But then he unretired to play for the Jets. and he did this a week before the game was to be released. But Madden had already shipped out the first round of discs to retail stores. So Madden responded by giving people a link they could go print out their own new updated cover to slip into the case to make it accurate. So I've taken it upon myself to create a new Madden cover that you can access and download in the description below. And it features the newest cover athlete for Madden 25, Dylan Mulvaney. You can now download, print out, and give out this alternative cover to anyone who buys this year's Madden. It comes in PS5, and for the unfortunate people who have Xboxes, I got you covered too with an Xbox cover as well. You obviously won't print one out for yourself because you're not buying the game this year. That's how a boycott works. But definitely give it to your friends who love spending $70 for what basically is Madden 2014 and a glorified roster update. Sorry to Dylan that you had to catch this stray, but I've got a video game franchise to save. Hey, thanks for making it to the end of the video. Proud of you. Definitely be sure to download the alternative cover in the link below and spread this video to everyone, especially the people who continue to be a slave to EA year after year. Also, let me know your grievances with the Madden franchise in the comments below. What were some of your favorite modes that are no longer there or something you want to see? Let me know your wish list down below. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel here and here and here. You can check out some old videos of mine. And if you're at all interested in video games or history, definitely check out Paprika Gaming, link also in the description. Thanks, and playa! If there was just a way to connect Madden to Dylan Mulvaney, I hit the fucking mic.